Okay, well, here we go.
Okay.
Eat while you talk.
Alright, so my name is Isha Mohapatra. I'm in 8th grade at Moravian Academy, as you all know. And this is my presentation from the Columbus, Ohio OSA convention last summer that I did. And so the name of my company was called Insulating the Brick Co., IBC for short. I know it's kind of a bad name, but it's okay. I had a lot of motivation for this company. So like in February, like last February, not this February, I entered the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science competition where I won first award for this science project that I did, and it was like a science fair thing. And then because I got first award there, I got to go to Penn State in May to present my project there too, where I also got a first award. And so after that, over the summer, my work was presented at the Energy Path 2014, and there the name of my presentation was Energy Conservation Through Better Insulation. And there I won second place and $750. So that was my motivation to do this. And so bricks are like everywhere, okay? They're used to build houses, schools, hospitals, stadiums, hotels, all kinds of buildings, you name it. And so I was thinking, like, I want to kind of make this better, the system better, so I came up with a new way to make bricks more porous. Making bricks more porous will reduce its density and reduce its thermal conductivity, which is the ability of a material to conduct heat, transfer heat. But then making a brick more porous will also make it more insulating, because air is a very good insulator. So you might be wondering, like, how did I make these bricks? Well, I used like a mixture of clay, sand, and water. As you can see, I'm mixing up there. And then I ground up recycled newspaper and water into like a paper pulp, which I added into my bricks with varying percentages. And then I pressed my bricks into a mold, fired them, and when they were being fired, what happened was that the paper inside the bricks burned away, leaving pores. So that's how I got the pores in the bricks. And then I measured my bricks' thermal conductivity and density after it was done. I really got great results, actually, and so these are my results. As you can see, here, I'm going to have to come back here. This is my control, and then this is my brick that was 10% paper pulp. So for the control brick, as you can see, my thermal conductivity was around 0.45 watts per meter Kelvin, and that means that the brick was, not very insulating. It was dense too. And then I saw that as I added more and more paper pulp to my bricks, once I got to the 10% brick right here, the thermal conductivity was around 0.1 to 0.2 watts per meter Kelvin, and that means that it was also the 10% brick was way more insulating than the control brick. So it got more and more insulating as I added more paper pulp to the bricks. So there's a huge advantage to my bricks, and that's energy savings. So the average American household uses 38% of all of its energy on heating. And so if a house is built using my bricks, then it would save up to almost 50% of the average amount of heat used in the house, which also means that 19% of all of the energy used today in a household would be saved. And you might be wondering, where is my company going to be established? Well, my corporate headquarters and administration, sales, R&D is all going to be located in the northeastern United States. Why? Because I live here and it's easily accessible. And this is also where my customers are, so I can easily speak to my customers, see what they want, cater to their needs. But then my manufacturing plant will be established in Odisha. Why? Because I can export from there to North America and all over Europe, but then also because the labor is much cheaper, and I also want to do something for Odisha. I mean, that's my roots. And then also, it'll create a lot more jobs in Odisha. And then after my company gets going, then I can even start selling bricks there, because many houses in India use bricks. And then it'll lower cooling costs for most buildings because outside it's hot and inside, you want it cooler. But the main reason why I want to have it in Odisha is because there are so many fire clay mines there, and fire clay is exactly what I need. Like, all of my resources are right there, like right in Odisha. And so all the clay I can get, there's many, many mines, and so I have my clay. And then there's also a long coastal shore where I can get all my sand from, and then also all the riverbeds. And this is like one of the biggest reasons why I can actually have it in Odisha. It's gonna take some time, sorry. And so this is my market, and I can have many different kinds of customers. So first would be the construction companies and builders, because these are construction companies and builders are going to be the ones doing, like, building the houses and all the buildings and stuff. They're going to be doing the housing, and so they're going to want to, have a brick company. So they're going to probably be my primary first, like, customer. And then also civil engineering companies, because civil engineering companies will want to save energy in schools and hospitals. They want to go with the newest modern technology, design buildings to be, like, they'll want a newer material. Like with today, like how today is, energy conservation is a big thing. So I think civil engineering companies will really want a company that sells bricks that are more insulating and to use to design houses, sorry. And then my last would be architectural firms. I think architectural firms will definitely want to be designing buildings that are more conservative with heat, and they might want to use a more insulating brick to do that. Because also, architectural firms are probably looking for the newest technology of, building material, and they'll want to move forward and modernize. And to do that, like I said before, energy conservation is really big in society, and to do that, they'll have to use, this will be like an ideal company for them to come to get their building material. Okay. My bricks are very different from its competitors. So before I tell you about my competitors, when I was doing my research, I found that there's no companies that sell bricks that are extremely insulating and for the purpose of, like, building houses that'll conserve energy or something. So the next would be people that just random brick companies that actually do just sell bricks. And so my first competitor would be Submit Brick Company. And their bricks are not as insulating as the ones I designed. And they actually don't even make insulating bricks, but they're just a really famous company that a lot of other building companies get bricks from. And then my next would be Colonial Brick Corporation. And they specialize more in brick restoration, like if a house needs bricks, like if there's something broken or something, they specialize more in the restoration. And they still also use coal-fired brick kilns and recycled newspaper instead of chemicals or other substances to make it more porous and less thermally conductive, meaning my brick is more environmentally safe too. It's more environmentally safely made, sorry. Okay. And as I said before, I'll have a booth at trade shows and present my prototype and convince other companies that this brick can really make a change. And I'll also have to make flyers and a brochure, to spread around the word about my new heat-saving brick, and I have to advertise to sell. I need to, show everyone. I have to spread the word, and so I have to, make lots of brochures and flyers, and then I can give them out at trade shows and things like that. And then I'll also definitely have to create a website. This is, one of my main things. And because if any other company gets interested and needs more information or is thinking of buying, they can just go to our website and get that information, and maybe they're like a prospective customer. And then I'll definitely need to follow the regulations and laws and things like that, because if I don't follow regulations, then we might not look like a very trusted company. So we need to follow the regulations of society or the laws of the government. And there's many things that I need to start up my company. So a couple things I'll need are a manufacturing plant and machinery. And then I'll need initial operating cash. I'll need a patent to patent my product. And then I'll definitely need employees, about 20 to start in Odisha and 1 here. and then just miscellaneous items. And so my total initial investment is going to probably be around $785,000. So this is my sales analysis, and I saw that in the first year, I was thinking that in the first year I'll sell around 1 million to 2 million bricks at 50 cents each. I'd say 1 million is more of a realistic number. 2 million is a very optimistic number, like if I can actually get out there. But then the average house uses around 10,000 bricks to build, and then the average school uses around 100,000 to 1 million bricks to build. And then my brick will cost about 20 cents to 30 cents to make with the clay, sand, energy, and packing costs. My market size is pretty big. About 7.1 billion bricks are sold in the U.S. every year, and this is based on the Fredonia Group market research published in 2010. And it's probably, the numbers are probably much bigger now that it's 2015, 5 years later. And then based on the 50 cent per brick, the market size is estimated to be around 3 to 4 billion US dollars per year. And it's projected to increase 11.8% annually through 2014. And the number might be different now because it's also a different year. This is my 5-year profit and loss statement. As you can see that for the first year, I'm thinking that sales will be around $500,000. And then, of course, as with any company, I won't be making a profit in the first year. It's going to be a loss. And then I'm thinking that in the second year, I'll have sales around $2 million. And then I'll actually start making this was going to be my break-even point, my break-even year. And I'm thinking around year 5, things will start to balance out and start to become consistent. And so, don't let your money fly out through the wall. Yes, I know, cheesy quote. Thank you for watching. Any questions?
Okay, I see one question.
What?
If there's more pores in it, wouldn't it be easier to crush by weight?
Yeah, and that was my project this year, just to figure that out. Probably, yeah, it will, because there's more pores in it, definitely, that was actually one of, this year for that PHAS thing, I did a continuation project, and this year I tested the crushing strengths of the bricks, and so, because that's one of the biggest concerns, like, will it get crushed, like, because it has more pores, will it get crushed if something happens, or something. So this year that was what I tested, and yeah, of course, they're crushing easier because of the pores. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yes.
What color did they break?
Actually, after I fired them, they came out to be like orange. So a paint job might be required, but you know, that's okay. Like that will be improved upon. But I think that if there's different methods of, I think it might be that these were fired in like they weren't fired in an actual kiln. It was more like an oven, but not my home oven. It was at an outside lab. And so I think maybe if they were fired in a kiln, they might be a different, like a more of a reddish color, or I think it depends on where they're fired, what they're made of, what the clay is. So that I'd have to experiment around with to get like an actual nice color that people will want on their houses. Yes.
Is there, what's the cost difference between your brick and a traditional brick?
Actually, not much. I was looking up other bricks and things like that, what the cost was. They were all around, they could range from like 30 cents to maybe like, I think 60, that's what the price range was, but most of them I found were like around 45 cents, 55, like the 40 cents, that kind of thing. So my brick is around, you know, the same price, but I think they will be costing a little bit more considering that there's like more going into them, but their price is pretty much similar. I think it would be worth it in the end if you're saving money with your heating in the house. Yes, another one?
What would be your plan for advertising if you want people to go and buy bricks from your company?
I said that. I was going to have trade shows where I would advertise to sell, and I'll promote my brick and my company there, because trade shows are like where like all the construction
No,
companies.
like advertise like against the other companies, against your competitors. You know,
Advertise against my competitors?
kind of.
Well, I'll have to have a website, because Well,
Because
it's not
they'll
like
be advertising
it's not like
too.
you walk outside and see a billboard that says "Brick Company, buy some" or something. So I'll just have to have like a really good. I'll have to definitely promote well in trade shows because that's where most of my customers are probably going to come to see, the new technology. But then I'm also definitely going to have a really good website, easy to find information, that kind of stuff. So that's basically how I'm going to be promoting my company. Yes.
Sorry. Hold on. You watch Mike. Which grade are you?
8th.
Okay. So you spend a lot of time I see and things like that. I don't know when you'll be ready to manufacture plant and things like that. Have you ever thought about filing for the patent and maybe give it to somebody to charge royalty or something like that?
For like in real life?
Yeah.
Now, instead of you doing the work or going through all the things, you give it to somebody who has experience to establish the factory and doing all that.
You get your patent.
You get your patent and you will take the royalty.
Because you go to study and go to college and a lot of other things are involved, right? So in the meantime, otherwise somebody can steal your idea, and then you're going to be ready with it.
That's true. I actually never thought of that exactly because, well, the bricks is definitely not even ready. I mean, yes, I found that it's very insulating and all that, and that's great, but the crushing strength has become like, it's a kind of an issue. So the brick definitely needs to be stronger in order to be patented, and so I can't exactly patent it until it's completely like perfect, like a complete perfect tested everything, laws, regulations. So I guess that's in the process, but if I ever did, yeah, sure, I'll go for the patent.
No, you didn't understand the point, what he's saying.
No, he's still proving that
Yes.
strength and
I'm still proving it.
So more work. See,
There's definitely
what he's saying
more.
that you will take time to do all these things, right?
Yeah.
To test it properly, get the data, then patent it. It takes time.
Yeah,
But at the same time, we are studying,
yeah.
right?
So you have to give it to someone else to.
you can't
Manage
get
it
patent
for
unless
you,
somebody has
right?
proven that it can
Right,
really
right,
work.
right.
That particular
So
thing
once
is
you
still-
get the patent, then you have to go for manufacturing, putting the plant there in Odisha, arrange everything, then doing the marketing here. So all these things, you have to devote your time, right? But you are still at
I'm
eighth grade.
in school.
You have to go a long way in your study career also, right?
Yeah.
So what he's asking is, once you get the patent, you have to give to somebody to do, you take the royalty, or you want to do by yourself? How you are going to manage your study, your career, and also these things?
Well, that I would have to think about, definitely. Yeah.
Have you looked at the bricks that have been used here? Not necessarily for like a strength. A lot of like for decorative purposes. I mean, the houses which you see, they have their own structure and things like that. Those bricks are basically for decoration or maybe just doing your, not necessarily for the strength.
Building buildings for a school or something. So yeah, I'd have to look at different angles of it, definitely.
You're doing amazing. Last question.
Yeah.
How are you planning to get the bricks from Odisha to this part of the US?
Shipping
And the
costs.
cost is
And it's all in there, and like, cause it's all in containers. It comes in containers by the kilogram and how much it costs. Yeah. So I know that. I got that out too.
Good job. And you did not say like, you won the first prize in convention?
Oh yeah,
And
I
you
did.
won how much?
1,000. Yeah.
It is when?
And she promised to share it with us.
No, I did not. No.
Yes.
No, I did not.
Okay, so what we will do now is we will have a pizza break.
Yes.
And after that we'll come form the groups, or we already have the group. So we'll start working on the one-page business plan. Okay? So let's take a 5-minute break.
Pizza. Pizza. There it is.